Hello everyone, this is part 3 of What If Naruto Left Konoha and Awakens Lava and Boil release, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video and to like, to subscribe, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Kirigaku, Council Chambers. Mizuki-sama, now that we have brought ourselves out of the economic slump that was caused from the chaos of Yagura's reign and the massacres, isn't it time we started making treaties with other villages? Surely it would be to our advantage. The council was in deliberation over the future of Kirigaku. It had taken most of the day and May was wondering if it would ever end. It would hardly affect an island nation such as our own. Our potential enemies are kept at arm's length, but so are any allies we might gain. The minor treaties with Sea and Wave are plenty enough for now. Our economy is better than it ever has been since we expanded our monopoly over sea trade. Our ninja population has also increased since the end of the Bloody Mist graduation exams. I see no reason to make alliances with any of the elemental nations. We will bide our time for now. The councillors sighed but did not argue further. The Mizuki was a very stubborn, yet clever woman. I believe this discussion is over. Moving on, I would like to know how our village's most important investment is doing. Kyo asked the Mizuki, and she growled in response. Naruto Koi is not a damn investment, he is a human being. No matter how many times I warn you, all you see him as is an investment. In fact, everything has to have some means to an end with Yukio, and it needs to stop. Naruto Koi has come a long way in the 2 years since he has arrived. His accomplishments are lauded amongst the ninja corps. Becoming a Junin at age 16, achieving swordsman status, perfecting his Kekkei Genkai and Jinchuriki abilities in record time and even being requested to be an official member of the Hunter Nin Corps. Kyo's smirk faded, taking on a scowl instead. Not to mention creating a boiling pot of lava with our relationship with Konoha and seducing the Mizuki herself. Kyo was ripped from his chair by the Mizuki, two Anbu guards poised to strike at his vital points upon her order. She gave a look of pure rage at the ex-shinobi. How dare you? I have put up with your insolence for far too long. You have spoken out of line and insulted me personally. Anbu, take him away for interrogation pending military trial. Kyo's eyes widened. Military trial? What? You can no longer try me as a ninja, I've retired. The Mizuki smirked, brandishing a pencil and a document from thin air. She quickly signed it and stamped it with the official Mizuki stamp and held it to his face. You now have been officially reinstated as a shinobi of Kiri, congratulations. Now Anbu, please take this foolish man away from me and these chambers before I melt him. The two masked shinobi saluted and dragged the man away, frightening the remaining councilmen into silence. This meeting is adjourned. I will retire to my estate now. The Mizuki placed her cage hat back on and walked slowly to the wooden doors, hoping to get as far away as possible. The remaining councilmen stood and bowed to the cage. Yes, Mizuki-sama. They left upon her exit, dreading her and her dangerous personality, wondering if Yagura was any worse. May walked the streets of Kiri, observing her people that she had sworn to protect living out their normal lives, free from danger. Their smiling faces and prosperous attitudes were what allowed May to continue the job of Mizuki, the thing that kept her working all day. Her thoughts drifted to Naruto, the blonde genin now Junin that had warmed her heart since his arrival 2.5 years ago. Their relationship had started with them becoming friends, then teacher and student, to now boyfriend and girlfriend. May could not contain her joy when he was around. She had yet to broach the "I am an Uzumaki" subject with Naruto. She was afraid of his reaction to them being distant cousins of one another. May also feared that Naruto would no longer trust her, feeling betrayed at just how deep of knowledge and connection she really did have with the Uzumaki, so she had kept her secret. As Naruto grew, however, so did his curiosity, and she feared that he would learn of her secret on his own, something that would be even worse. I promised to tell him after he comes home from his mission. He should arrive by the end of the day. Hurry home, Naruto-kun, we have much to discuss. Unnamed Kiri Isle, Forest. Hunter 1, in position. A figure hid behind a tree, holding a hand up to his ear and speaking into a small communicator. He wore a Kiri Hunter Nin mask. The only markings were two blue fangs that started at the top of the mask and enveloped the drawn-on eyes. The 4 waves of Kiri had their place on his mask's forehead, and the only way to identify the man's features was his bright blonde hair. He wore standard Kiri battle armor, a single chest piece that had shoulder guards and a lower torso extension to cover his groin, all gray-black in color. His weapon was easily the thing that stood out the most, a large, 2-ended blade that attached to his back via a belt that went across his chest. As most shinobi carried, he had a kunai pouch attached to his thigh and a hip pouch as well, both connected to black Anbu standard pants. Farther down, he wore black sandals with dark gray leggings that extended from his sandal toes to a halfway up his lower leg. He also wore a black, long-sleeve shirt with gray gloves extending from his entire forearm to past his knuckles. My description of Kiri Anbu seen in most recent Shippuden 6 Tales filler arc. Roger. Hunter 1, Hunter 2, 3, and 4 are standing by, awaiting your order. The man silently nodded to himself, observing his quarry that he and his squad had stalked for the past few days. The older man, somewhere in his 40s, wore prisoner garbs, black and white stripes lined his ripped garments. Looks were deceiving to his haggard reflection though. The man was a B-rank missing nin, newly awarded the title after escaping from a prisoner transfer ship off the island's coast. The hunters had been sent out as soon as word was received from the survivors of the vessel, and the squad requested a swordsman to lead them. They chose Naruto Uzumaki, the newest addition to the 7 swordsmen. Naruto went over his prey's strengths and weaknesses, analyzing the tactics he would use in the coming battle with the Kiri escapee. This man's name is Akatsuki, B-rank missing nin of Kiri. A pure ninjutsu specialist, he is lauded for the possession of 2 nature elements, fire and wind. Special techniques are largely unknown, taijutsu is average and genjutsu is abysmal. Just my kinda guy. Let's do this. Hunter 2, stand by for Kirasame. Hunters 3 and 4 will keep distance and observe, cut off escape routes and prevent target from leaving the zone. Naruto heard from his communicator the chorus of Rogers. For his plan, the trap was set, now Naruto just had to defeat the man himself. Naruto held up the ram hand sign and disappeared in a whirlpool vortex of water, appearing behind the walking man, hand on the hilt of his broadsword. Akatsuki, you are under arrest for over 20 criminal acts committed in Kiri. The time has come for you to pay for your crimes. The man froze immediately, slowly turning to see his worst nightmare, a hunter nin. Worse yet, he saw the man's large sword and remembered the horror stories of the swordsman's organization, something he didn't want to experience. Damn it. I was hoping that it would take you a bit longer to find me. Naruto held his ground, staring down the panicking man. We both know I won't surrender, I have no chance if I go back to Kiri, so I'll just have to defeat you. The man began to form the hand signs for a fire jutsu, and Naruto clicked his communicator once, the signal for Hunter 2. The hunter ninja in question stood away from the 2 combatants in the forest, silently listening to the dialogue. Up until now, he had received the awaited signal. He formed the 3 hand signs for the Kiri hunter nin hidden jutsu, whispering its name under his breath. Hidden jutsu, Kirasame. Rain began to fall in the surrounding area, but the unnatural feel of the wet substance that was littered with chakra tipped off any high-ranking or well-informed Kiri nin of a jutsu of some sort. Riko, however, was too engrossed in watching Naruto that he did not mind the rain, thinking it a natural phenomenon. Grand Fireball. The criminal held up a hand to his mouth, expelling a fireball straight at his enemy, but his eyes widened when he saw the attack gradually dissipate in midair. Wait. Even if this is a water jutsu, it shouldn't be powerful enough to. Damn it, a trap. Looks like you figured out the jutsu a little. Too late, Riko-san. Naruto had body flickered behind the man, his sword edge on the man's throat. Damn. How the hell did? The man was cut off when Naruto finished his mission, slicing through the man's throat with practiced precision and without hesitation. His fellow hunters walked out into the small clearing, glad to see their leader able to handle the shinobi so well. The body fell to the ground, blood pouring out of the neck artery that Naruto had severed purposely. He turned to his subordinates, each looking at him for their future orders, totally unaffected by the sight of death. Finish up here, standard procedure. Meet at the rendezvous in 5 minutes, we head for home. The 3 other hunters saluted and went to the body, beginning the usual process of taking the head as proof of death and destroying what was left. Naruto leapt into the trees and continued to the exfiltration point, the eastern beach side of the uninhabited island. From there, his squad would move to Kiri, arriving no later than 8 p.m. Naruto arrived at the beach, finding it undisturbed and exactly as it looked when they arrived, peaceful, quiet and serene. No one would know that an important hunter nin assignment was done here, the only proof would be some scorched grass from the body's cremation. Naruto leapt onto the water, standing on top of the shifting surface and sunk his blade in the salty liquid, washing away the red life source soaked on the blade. Another criminal downed, chalk another one up for the Uzumaki. The guys back at Anbu HQ are gonna freak when I tally another one to my score. Since Naruto's induction into the Hunter Nin Corps, he found the job to be very challenging and fun as far as ninja roles go, but he was always brought down by the monotonous, dreary atmosphere. All the other hunters were business, stoic and unemotional, but Naruto didn't like that one bit, so he influenced his fellow shinobi into having more fun. Back at base, they had a giant chalkboard that with each hunter's name and a tally of how many enemies they have taken down, and Naruto had been rising up the ranks quickly. All the old veterans went along with the ideas since they got to tally their pre-existing scores, but were shocked at the blonde's tenacity at his work. He was easily catching up to their numbers. Naruto invented the word, fun, and brotherhood, with the hunters, and every visit to the HQ was relaxed and left everyone light-hearted when they returned home from a long day of work. Sir. Naruto turned to see his subordinates had finished the tasks, a sealing scroll containing the head put away for further processing in Kiri. Naruto gave a silent nod and motioned with his hand to move out, and in a blur, all 4 shinobi were gone, mission accomplished. Kirigaku, Terumi Estate. Mei paced back and forth in the Terumi family room, anxiously awaiting the arrival of her housemate and boyfriend, Naruto Uzumaki. She was attempting to psyche herself for the upcoming conversation that would reveal her so far hidden heritage of being an Uzumaki. And she was failing miserably. What if he hates me forever? What if he can never forgive me for keeping this from him? Damn it. He revealed to me being a damn Jinchuriki containing the most powerful biju in existence, and I can't even tell him my last name. I'm such an idiot. Her pacing stopped when she felt strong arms wrap around her waist and warm breeze wash against the back of her neck, making her shiver in delight. Mei automatically fell back in the figure's arms, already knowing her love scent and feel against her skin. Her Naruto was home. Mayheim, I'm home. Naruto whispered into her ear, long since putting away his hunter equipment and gear, now wearing a form-fitting black bodysuit that he often wore around the house. Narukoi, I'm so glad you're home. How was your mission? She already knew the answer. Naruto was very dedicated to any task he was given. He would not have come home if the mission was incomplete. It went fine, no casualties, and Kiri has one less criminal to worry about. Naruto moved his hands up and down Mei's firm stomach, making her skin tingle from contact. She still wore her blue dress over her fishnet bodysuit, too worried to remember to take off the garment. That's great, you are a wonderful ninja, Naruto. Kiri is truly blessed with your presence, I know I am. Mei loved this, just being with the man she loved and being able to talk so easily. It was as if there was nothing else happening in the world. Well, let's thank Kami for the Uzumaki clan and their bloodline, or else I might never have come to Kiri. Or met you, Mayheim. Mei frowned at this, once again reminded of the Uzumaki. She gently pushed herself away from Naruto and led him over to the couch, urging him to sit with her. He was confused but did as Mei asked, sitting next to his Mizukage holding onto both of her hands, both in a comforting and inquisitive gesture. Mei. What's the matter? The redhead looked at their hands, finding what courage she could muster in the fact of how much they had been together, how much love they shared. Please, Naruto-koi, forgive me. Naruto, I have something that I have to tell you. Naruto looked at her with a curious gaze, wondering what could be the matter that would have her so nervous. He silently pushed her on, anxious to hear the news. Mei gulped and let go of her inhibitions, laying all out on the table. My true name is Mei Uzumaki. And I am a pure-blood just like you. I'm a survivor of the Uzumaki clan dissolution. I'm your distant cousin, Naruto-koi. Mei moved her hands to her face, ashamed that she was crying and attempting to hide from what was surely Naruto's shocked and disgusted face towards her. I'm such a fool. He can never forgive me for this is. Her inner ranting was stopped when she felt her hands being gently removed from her face, and felt her heart flutter when Naruto's lips met her own in a soft kiss. It was his way of reassuring her that everything was all right, and that there was no hard feelings from him. He broke the kiss, leaving Mei with a happy but curious face. Naruto smiled softly and stroked her cheek. But, why? Mei whispered, not understanding his peculiar reaction. Naruto kept smiling, inwardly laughing at his Mei and her actions. For the past few years of him living in Kiri, Naruto always had his theories and ideas on Mei and how they were linked, and her revealing to him being an Uzumaki wasn't a big surprise. In fact, he had been expecting Mei to reveal her secret to him for some time now, allowing her to take the first step. Mayheim, I have had my assumptions for some time now that we were related, I've just been waiting for you to say it. In a way, even before I knew for sure, there was always this voice in the back of my mind telling me that you and I were linked more than by coincidence. Mei gasped, he had known. And, you're not angry. Naruto just shook his head, any feelings of anger or disappointment vanished long ago, it was evident she regretted keeping it from him for all this time, and that was proof enough. Mei's tears increased to their zenith and she tackled her love, forcing him onto his back against the leather blue couch. She sobbed into his chest, chanting, "Thank you," over and over again, making the blonde smile as he petted her back, moving his hand through her hair sensuously. Shush. Let's go to bed now, Mei. We both have had a long day and it's late at night, we need our rest. Mei nodded against his broad chest and felt herself being lifted up. Naruto held her bridal style, making her blush a bit. He walked through the estate's lobby, right up the stairs and went straight for Mei's room, closing the door behind him. He laid her down onto the large double bed that both shared at night, its blue silk sheets held the Kiri symbol in the middle. He went to the zipper on her dress and began to unzip it, knowing just how much his Haim loved to sleep in her bodysuit, often foregoing her nightgown since she began to sleep with Naruto. She freely allowed him to strip her outfit from herself, trusting Naruto completely. It wasn't like he hadn't seen anything that her fishnets revealed. They had made love many times before, every time better than the last as far as Mei was concerned. Tonight though, she was too tired and she felt that Naruto was as well. She watched as her zipper was fully undone and her love pulled the blue one-piece down her body, folding it neatly and putting it away for washing. So gentle. Oh Narukoi, I'm so happy that you understood. Mei moved herself so she was now under the blanket, waiting for her man to join her impatiently. She loved it when he would hold her close at night. You would never guess from his chiseled physique, but Naruto's shoulder and chest make for great pillows. Naruto pulled himself into the bed, directly behind Mei, making her flip over to face him. They looked into each other's eyes with what could only be described as love before they met in a soft, passionate kiss that left them satisfied of their lover's taste. Mei moved herself one last time to get comfortable, opting to rest on Naruto's warm chest, his rhythmic heartbeat and steady breathing to lull her to sleep. Naruto hooked an arm around Mei's torso, laying himself down onto their soft pillows, silently enjoying the feeling of being in bed with the one he loves. He looked down at her with his mind forming a final question before they slept. Mei, I just have one question. Mei sleepily looked at him, her eyes already drooping from exhaustion. What would you like me to call you? Mei Terumi or Mei Uzumaki? She smiled at him, softly stroking his chest with her free hand. As far as I'm concerned, you may call me Mei Uzumaki. Because I don't plan on leaving you anytime soon, Narukoi. With you, I actually feel proud to wear the Uzumaki name, because I believe in you and your dream, I know you will accomplish it someday. Naruto smiled at her, happy that she believed in his dream of bringing the Uzumaki back. Well then, Mei Uzumaki. I guess I'll just have to marry you then. Mei shot straight up and looked at Naruto with wide eyes. Marriage. Her sleepiness forgotten, she gripped his bodysuit tightly, threatening to tear it. Marriage. Do you really mean that, Narukoi? Her hands were trembling, afraid and anxious of the answer from the blonde Junin. If you would like to be my wife, and only if. I won't force you into anything you aren't ready for, I knew from the moment I fell in love with you that I wanted to be with you for as long as I live. No other woman, Uzumaki or not, can fill my heart with warmth and care like you do, Mei, and I think, Naruto was stopped from talking by Mei's lips covering his own, ending his well-thought-out, I love you until the end of time, speech. Mei broke the passion-induced kiss and looked at his surprised face, giggling at him. Oh. Be quiet you silly man, we love each other far more than most will ever love anything, you don't need to make a speech. My name might not change, but marriage is still a big step. One that I'm willing to take if it is with you, my Naruto. I love you. Naruto's eyes began to tear along with Mei and he held her close, kissing her once more. I love you too, Mei. You have made the happiest Uzumaki man in the world. Mei smirked into the kiss, actually feeling relieved to call herself Mei Uzumaki again. As they slowly fell asleep together in bed, Mei and Naruto's thoughts drifted to their respective parents, remembering their parting wishes and hopes for their children. I did it, Mom, I found my Uzumaki girl. I'm so happy. Mother, Father, I have finally found that little Uzumaki boy that you asked me to look out for. I feel like I'm finally home, where I should be, where I belong. The Uzumaki couple fell asleep with smiles that night, the feeling of being engaged to elating for them. It was a joyous occasion that would be celebrated for generations to come. Konoha, Hokage office. Jiraiya, I have been forced to recognize Naruto as a missing nin. What can we do? The civilians celebrate his death and all the ninja except for his graduating class are making bets on who will collect his bounty first. This is madness. Tsunade voiced her overwhelming concerns to the newly arrived Jiraiya. He had spent the past 2 years of Naruto's training trip exploring the world for him and attempting to become even stronger, even if he was long past his golden years. I don't know, Tsunade Haim. How have the rest of the rookies taken his leaving? Tsunade looked out the window, a frown on her face. Sakura, I fear will never be the same. She felt the betrayal that she felt from Sasuke's leave all over again with Naruto. She hasn't trusted another soul since. Even throughout my training she was almost completely unresponsive. The rest have their own ways of dealing with it. Konohamaru has pushed himself extremely hard, to prove to Naruto that he is worthy of Sarutobi, foolishly believing that if he becomes powerful enough, Naruto will come back. Jiraiya sighed. Naruto's leave had a big impact on Konoha, for worse much more than better. I hope you're happy in Kiri Naruto, because everyone else has suffered for it. During his 2-year trip, Jiraiya's contacts followed up more thorough reports on the island nation and discovered that Naruto indeed lived there as a Kiri ninja. While Jiraiya didn't know the extent of his training or why he was there, he knew that Naruto would not be coming back to Konoha, but he couldn't tell Tsunade, it would be too much for her to bear. Tsunade-sama. The Sannin turned to see a ninja from the Code Decipher Division burst through the door, holding a message from what appeared to be Suna. Tsunade-sama, urgent message has been received from Suna. Tsunade took the scroll and read it, her eyes widening and a scowl growing on her face. She set the scroll down and summoned Shizune. Shizune, get Kakashi's squad here, now. Jiraiya picked up the scroll and read it for himself. The Kazekage has been captured. And by Akatsuki no less. This was trouble. The Kazekage has been captured. Jiraiya, you know more than anyone about the Akatsuki. Will you accompany Kakashi's squad? The white-haired man nodded, believing himself up to the task. We'll leave as soon as Kakashi's squad is ready. Kirigakure, Mizukage Suite, 3 days before Konoha receives distress signal. Mizukage-sama, we have received a priority message from our observers in River Country. Mei looked up from her paperwork to see a messenger nin, one that looked to be out of breath. Must be pretty important. All right, let's take a look. Mei took the report from the man, reading the message and her eyes widened a bit in surprise. So, Akatsuki has a hideout in River Country. And the agents there have been seen moving for Suna. But why? Mei's eyes widened. This suddenly got a lot more serious than she had first thought. She flared her chakra and an Anbu stood before her immediately, kneeling before her. Get me Naruto Uzumaki, I don't care what he's doing. A priority message on the Kazekage has arrived. The Anbu saluted and went straight to Anbu HQ, the last known location of the blonde. This isn't good. If Akatsuki is on the move, we cannot allow him to take the one-tails. I need Naruto's counsel, he has to help me figure out what to do. Yes, Mizukage-sama. Mei looked up to see a fully outfitted Naruto in his hunter gear, hands on the table anxiously waiting for the news. She sighed and handed him the report, his expression unreadable through his mask, but it was surely of surprise. No, they are already on the move. Naruto asked himself rhetorically, not wanting to believe his friend Gaara had been captured or soon to be. He looked into Mei's eyes, seeing the indecision and conflict that mirrored his own. We have to do something, we have to stop Akatsuki before they can get a foothold like this. Naruto proclaimed, letting go of his calm facade and replacing it with anger and hate for the organization that made his difficult life even worse. Mei got up from her seat and walked around the desk. She enveloped her fiancé in her arms, calming him down considerably. Naruto let out a deep breath and held her arms with his own, trying his best to figure out a plan. I know that we have to do something, but what, Naruto? We are easily the worst nation positioned to do anything about it, and it might take too long to get a squad there anyway. Mei hoped she could dissuade Naruto from what she thought he would do, but she was gravely mistaken. Naruto nodded his head in agreement with her analysis, but disagreed that it was impossible. A squad might not get through, but a ninja formerly of fire could get past their patrols alone. Mei gasped at his implication. He couldn't go alone. No, if they capture you, then you will be executed or worse. I won't allow that to happen. I won't lose my fiancé just because he has to go rescue a friend. Naruto silently shook his head over Mei's protectiveness. She could be so cute and stubborn. Naruto was easily one of the most powerful ninja in Kiri, and probably the best one to be able to run the gauntlet of crossing Fire Nation undetected. Although he could agree that it would be dangerous and very costly if he was to be encountered and possibly captured for both countries, it would be even more costly if Akatsuki won in their plan of capturing the Biju. But Mei, I promised to help him. I was his first true friend. Please. I need to do this, and I already have a surefire plan as to how to get through even if I encounter Konoha shinobi. Mei looked curiously at him. She was being held in his arms tightly, as if to reassure her everything would be fine. Oh. And what would be your excellent plan, Naruto Koi? Naruto smirked under his mask. Oh, I was thinking something like a transformation to change my facial features, and if anyone asks I can just say I'm hunting an important criminal as a hunter nin. Mei thought about it. It was tactically sound, as long as no one could recognize him. Simple yet practically foolproof, but what if there is a complication? And I'll even throw something else into the deal to sweeten the deal, just to reassure you, Mei Haim. Naruto took off one of his gloves and moved his bare hand over Mei's revealed skin on her neck, although she didn't understand what he was trying to do. Naruto Koi. Naruto just smiled and pointed to the area to the right side of her head, close to her right shoulder. Naruto had planted some sort of seal onto her, a very complex-looking one that Mei couldn't begin to understand. That, Naruto pointed to the seal, is the integral part of the Hiraishin that allows me to teleport from place to place effortlessly. Now that I have planted it on you, I can come back to you faster than you can say, Mizukage. Although the distance between river and water is too big for one jump, if I plant these seals at the occasional tree or landmark, well, you get the idea. Mei was astounded at the practicality. If Naruto wanted to, he could plot seals like this all over the continent and reach any location in a matter of minutes. I still don't like you going out alone. Mei warned him, burying herself into his chest, his hand moving through her hair in a comforting manner. So soft. It still smells like an ocean shore. Believe me, Mei Haim, if I could figure out how to teleport others along with me, I would bring a whole squad as backup, but I can't. They would just slow me down if we tried to get there through conventional methods, and would increase our chances of getting caught. Mei just nodded, a flawless plan from the most unpredictable ninja. When will you leave? Naruto frowned at this. It wasn't like he enjoyed leaving Kiri and Mei, but he had to do this. He took off his mask, revealing his sorrowful blue eyes to her emerald one, leaning down to kiss her, one she readily accepted. It was soft and loving, but it was too short for Mei. She would be without him for some time, and she would worry every day. Naruto stroked her cheek, in thought over when it would be best to leave. I'll leave in an hour. That will give us enough time for proper goodbyes. Naruto whispered the last part, wagging his eyebrows at the red-headed woman. Mei perked up immediately at the sound of that, and even though she liked to think of herself as tame, when it came to sex, she would take up any offer of it from Naruto she could get, especially now that he was going on a life-threatening mission. Well, what are we waiting for, lover boy? An invitation. Naruto smirked one last time, picking up the Mizukage in a bridle hold. She was as light as a twig compared to his broadsword. I was just waiting for you, Mei Haim. And with that, the two shunshined away to the Terumi estate, where the real fun could begin. Terumi estate, bed chambers, lemon alert. Naruto reappeared holding Mei directly in front of their bed, and he practically threw her onto it, already feeling the tightness in his pants get more and more unbearable. Mei giggled at his excitement. Even though she sometimes preferred to be dominant during their fun time, she could handle Naruto taking the lead. Just this once. Naruto jumped onto the bed and tackled her, sending his tongue crashing into her mouth, tasting and exploring all she had to offer. Mei moaned into the aggressive kiss, enjoying the feeling coupled with Naruto's roaming hands. One had already landed on her breast while the other held her bottom. Mei pushed away and got on top, quickly stripping him of his armor and other dangerous weapons, starting with his giant sword. No pun intended. Naruto was just barely stifling a laugh as he watched Mei tear away his ninja gear and outfit, her anxiousness practically pouring off of her. Naruto didn't stop in his ministrations, however. His hand had moved from her breasts to her zipper, and he unzipped it as quickly as he could, feeling the fire and anticipation for what was coming. Mei finally got off everything but Naruto's boxes and smirked at her Uzumaki man, his tight muscles bristling, free from the cloth cage that barely hid them from her gaze to begin with. Her hands moved up and down his chest, tracing every little detail while slowly moving to the hem of his black boxes. Naruto was already twitching in anxious excitement. Oh Hunter-san, I think someone needs a little relief before his big mission. Let me help you with that. Naruto saw her game and smirked even under the great pressure he felt in his groin. I could use some of your special treatment, Mizuki-sama. It is a dangerous mission after all. Mei lowered his boxes and took his member into her hands, massaging it and his sack to get him ready for their favorite part. But Mei's eyes widened when she felt herself lifted and twisted around, her rear now facing Naruto, clothed only in her fishnet suit. Being the Mizukage must be extremely stressful. Allow me to pay you back. Naruto aggressively ripped off her bodysuit, reveling in feeling her skin unhindered from clothing. Mei moaned when he first began to lick her outer folds, quieting herself by placing her mouth over his shaft, lightly sucking on the head before enveloping more and more of him into her hungry mouth. Naruto's moans from her work caused her to writhe in pleasure from his tongue as it shot further inside of her core, feeling and massaging her inner walls. Mei began to hum from her current situation, his member touching the back of her throat. The vibrations caused Naruto to twitch and feel his end come near. Two can play at this game, Mei Heim. Naruto allowed his tongue to desperately search for a specific piece of his woman's anatomy, and upon finding the nub, launched a surprise attack that caused Mei to immediately lose their little competition. Naruto greedily began to drink her juices that flowed from her warm insides, intensely enjoying the flavor combined with Mei's desperate actions to his member. Upon feeling another humming vibration sent to the woman's throat, Naruto could no longer hold back and felt himself release into the woman's mouth. Mei lapped up his seed, swallowing as much as she could, doing her best not to let any spill. Her stomach felt warm from the salty substance as it finished the trip down her throat, but she couldn't revel in it for long because Naruto had once again switched their roles. She now lay on her back with Naruto above her, poised to enter. Are you ready, Mei Heim? Mei smiled and nodded, feeling a thrilling spike of pleasure as Naruto slowly entered her, one hand gripping her hip and the other massaging her breasts. She voiced these feelings through loud moans that resonated throughout the room, and Naruto groaned from how wonderful being inside her felt. So fucking warm. Mei, you're so tight. Mei grabbed Naruto's head and brought him in for a hungry kiss, attacking him with her tongue. She felt a surge of pleasure every time her tongue would prick itself against his sharpened teeth, the pain easily forgotten. Naruto broke the kiss and continued to ram into her, moving his head down to her breasts and gently nipping and sucking at her hardened nipples. Oh Naru-koi. That feels so fucking good. Ah! Mei screamed as Naruto especially pushed far into her, a mix of pleasure and pain that excited her from his teeth biting her nipples. Fuck. Mei Heim. I can't. Mei just enveloped his torso with her legs and kept him inside, wanting to feel the warmth of his seed inside her again. Do it. I want to feel your seed flow into me. Naruto did as his Mizukage asked, his cum shooting into her womb, making her feel undying pleasure as she reached her end as well. Naruto. Mei. Some time had passed, and Naruto began to relax, his pleasure climax coming to an end. He saw that Mei had pleasantly passed out from their intimate actions, not a common sight. Usually she lasts for at least 4 rounds. And that's when I go nice and slow too. Naruto checked the clock and found that they had been in bed together no more than 30 minutes, giving him some time to prepare himself. Naruto picked up the naked Uzumaki woman and laid her to rest under their bed sheets, stroking her hair and feeling her soft skin one last time before he departed. He gathered his scattered clothes and equipment and moved to his old room, now a storage area that he used to prepare himself for missions. Naruto quickly placed his clothing and his armor back on, emptying out his equipment pouches and taking stock of what he would bring. Broadsword. Check. 20. Three-pronged kunai with Horatian seal. Check. Smoke bombs, explosive tags, and wire. Check. Provisions for the trip and other simple survival gear in scroll. Check. Naruto stowed away his chosen equipment so far, and decided that since the upcoming battle could very well be the most dangerous he had ever been involved in yet, he decided to take his prototypes. Naruto picked up the two odd-looking metal objects, both having straps that would be attached tightly around his wrists, both looked like simple Uzumaki swirls. Naruto smirked and double-checked the integral part of the design, sending a small amount of chakra into each swirl's center, smiling upon seeing the elaborate seals light up. Uzumaki prototype, something I have been working on over the years since training began. The two circle-shaped swirls fasten to my wrists, and with them, I can deflect dangerous techniques and absorb the chakra into my own system using the blocking technique absorption seal. I haven't been able to test them out yet, but now would definitely be the time to do so. If they work, well, score 1 for the Uzumaki clan's ingenuity. Naruto fastened the devices to his wrists now, lest he forget them in the heat of battle when he arrived in River. His final checklist complete, Naruto placed his Hunter Nin mask over his face and moved back into the bedroom to check on Mei. She lay just where he had left her, a slight frown adorning her features. She always looked like this when he didn't sleep with her. No doubt she would be pissed whenever she woke up, but he had to leave now if he wanted to get there in time. Naruto moved to her bedside and lifted up his mask slightly, revealing his lower face. He laid a gentle kiss on her forehead and rubbed her cheek one last time before walking out without a single word. He moved down the stairs and saw the two Anbu guards waiting with their ceremonial pikes, saluting him as he walked by. Good luck, sir, we will protect the Mizukage while you are away. Naruto smiled under his mask, and opted for shaking both guards' hands instead of saluting, something that shocked the two. Thank you. I promise to return as soon as possible. Be safe, my friends. And Naruto was gone, in a vortex of water, leaving Kiri and his fiancée to go rescue a friend, someone who desperately needed help. Konoha front gate, current time. Alright, Jiraiya. You will be in overall command of this operation. The mission parameters are to rescue the Kazekage and defeat the Akatsuki interlopers. Move out. The three-man squad and Jiraiya disappeared in a blur, leaving Tsunade and Shizune standing at the gate, wistful looks on their faces. Naruto should be with them. He should be saving the Kazekage. I'm not sure what to do anymore. Shizune didn't know what to say to that. Tsunade was impossible to read anymore, even for her own student. No matter what she tried to say or do, Tsunade could never come out of this depression unless anything short of Naruto coming back to the village happened. Her only way of coping so far was to hide behind her cage hat, immersing herself into her work more so than ever now. Jiraiya, Shizune noticed, had also changed. No longer was he a cheerful old pervert, he wore his serious, stern expression upon his face all the time. He refused to write or research any longer, even over Kakashi's protests. Sakura was merely a shell of her former self, rarely speaking a word to anyone, rarely could anyone get her to smile. Sometimes Shizune doubted bringing Sasuke back would even dull the pain the young girl felt, and she wondered sometimes if Naruto really did think out his plan to leave with everyone's feelings in mind. Fire Country Forest, current time. Since leaving the village, the 3 days out so far were mainly spent running by Naruto. He could not stop himself from moving, nor did he want to. As far as he could tell, he had reached the coast of Fire Country yesterday, planting a seal on a tree there, and following it with another seal every 5 miles or so. Currently, Naruto was moving at full speed towards River Country, keeping his eyes open for the sure sign of grass plains, signifying his entry into Grass Country, a border state of Suna and a close neighbor of River. The only thing keeping him up was pure determination. He had told himself he would not rest until he reached River, only then would he sleep to get some rest before the battle. His only thoughts were on reaching Gaara in time. And exactly how best to mutilate the Akatsuki he found with him. Hang on, Gaara. I'm coming. Sunagaku, hospital ward. There. That's the last of the poison. Take it easy Kankuro, otherwise the side effects could worsen. Sakura droned to the puppeteer in a professional manner. She had an unreadable and passive visage, as if she was devoid of any emotion. Kankuro just nodded and laid back down on his bed, looking over at the Konoha ninja sent to help them get the Kazekage back. There is the copy ninja, Kakashi, Sakura of course, some pale kid I've never seen before, and the legendary Sannin Jiraiya. But where is Naruto? Sakura. Kankuro grunted out, stopping the pink-haired medic from leaving. She slowly turned her attention to him, unnerving him a bit from her stoic attitude. I was just wondering, where is Naruto? Sakura flinched at the sound of that name, her entire body shutting down. Kakashi and Jiraiya to their credit just stiffened a bit, hiding their emotions much better than the young Kunoiki. Sakura decided to look at the ground, not willing to face anyone with tears in her eyes. Naruto. He's gone. The Suna ninja present were shocked at this. Naruto Uzumaki. Gone. Temari decided to speak up, curious. What do you mean? She was cut off by Kakashi, deciding to explain it for his broken-hearted student. Naruto left the village 2.5 years ago, and he has not been seen or heard from since. He was recently made a missing nin. Your bingo book will be updated for. Kankuro scoffed at that. He may not have known Naruto too well, but he had helped Gaara become a better person. He had saved Gaara from himself, a task no one believed possible. He refused to just give up on the missing Konoha ninja. How can you say that? Naruto is your student, your friend. I'm not going to go out of my way just to hunt him down, so you ungrateful bastards. Temari quieted him with a hand over his mouth before he could say more, but the damage was already done. Kakashi looked down in shame, deeply affected that he had to treat his friend and student as an enemy to be killed. Jiraiya just held his stoic expression, inside agreeing with the Suna nin. He sure as hell didn't like it either, but Naruto was an enemy now. Sakura could no longer take the pain, and ran out of the room, followed closely by Kakashi. Sai felt very left out since his induction into Kakashi's squad. It seemed that the rich history of Squad 7 would be forever lost on him. He had little idea on exactly who Naruto Uzumaki really was. All he had seen was the boy's dossier Danzo had shown him. Sai stayed in the hospital with the Toad Sage, opting to stay out of the personal affairs of his teammates. Sunagaku streets. Sakura. Sakura, stop it. Kakashi was chasing after the distraught girl. She was running through the streets of Suna with total abandon on who she was bumping into or knocking over. Kakashi sighed in frustration. That puppeteer just had to open his damn mouth. Since Naruto left, other than feeling terribly depressed and lonely, Sakura had plenty of time to search her soul to understand these feelings. She must have found out she had deeper feelings than the fragile relationship the two had before he left, and now that he is gone, she regrets never being able to tell him. Every time he is brought up, it is as if she is reminded that she somehow failed in keeping her only true friend in Konoha. Naruto, your profound effect on people is just as much a curse as it is a blessing. Sakura finally reached the city's edge and leapt up onto the top of the wall, followed closely by Kakashi. The girl stood on the large sand barrier, looking out into the sandy dunes of the desolate country, inwardly gathering her thoughts and feelings. Kakashi dare not say anything before she was ready, settling with standing beside her, waiting patiently for her to vent. I'm sorry Kakashi-sensei. Kakashi frowned, completely sympathizing with the poor girl. He set a comforting hand on her shoulder, silent encouragement to continue. I just miss him so much. His laugh, his goofy smile, his upbeat attitude, it all seems like it was just yesterday that I found out he was gone, and then I. Sakura sighed, feeling it best to just admit it, feeling confidence in herself, something Naruto would have, something he would expect her to have. I found out that I love him. I just was too blinded by Sasuke in my younger years to see it. Hey, I guess Naruto really can get through to anybody with his magic, Hakaka-sensei. Kakashi smiled a bit, glad to see the girl got that off her chest. He nodded in assent to her observation. Naruto could change anyone, and he wouldn't stop working at it until he changed you for the better. Yes, Sakura, I believe that Naruto really can change anyone. His effect on the village and its people may be lost on Konoha. But we can't forget so easily. It isn't the same without him. I hope that he is all right, wherever he is. Sakura looked at Kakashi, a fire in her eyes he had not seen in over 3 years, and it startled him. Sakura smirked, feeling confident now that she had let out her feelings. Naruto reinvigorated her thoughts, filled her senses. She could practically feel the warmth of him, standing right next to her with a smile. His smile. She turned back to look out across the dunes, the smirk still on her face. She raised her fist into the air, taken up in the heat of the moment. And that is why I am going to bring back Naruto Uzumaki to his home, our home. I'm going to do it too. Because I love Naruto. She yelled out her promise. It was swallowed up by the gusting wind of Suna's desert, but Kakashi heard it clearly and smiled, a truly happy smile. I think Naruto would be proud to hear that promise, Sakura. River country, 1 mile from Akatsuki hideout. Naruto awoke from his slumber, almost falling out of the tree he had chosen for his bed. He had been awoken by the dispel of one of his lookout clones, and the memories sent to his brain brought a smirk to his face. The 2 Akatsuki members were nearby, a badly damaged Gaara in the grasp, and Naruto began to stretch and mentally prepare himself, going over his plan one more time in his head. Alright, I already took a look at the hideout. It appears to have a security seal that I will have to remove first. I've already sent clones to help me with that. After they get inside, I'll break the boulder and execute my special attack that I've been waiting to test out. My only priority is to get Gaara out of there with his Biju intact and still inside of him. Killing the Akatsuki will be a bonus. Naruto moved from his current location to a tree overlooking the large boulder of the hideout entrance, silently awaiting the arrival of the 2 enemy shinobi. He didn't have to wait long, however, as the 2 cloaked figures slowly made their way across the river and entered the hideout, closing the door behind them. I'll give them a few minutes to get settled, no point in rushing. Hunter Nin training taught me that much. Rushing into battle will just get me killed. 10 minutes ticked away and Naruto was finished with waiting. He made his way down to the boulder and began to get his attack preparations finished. Naruto placed his hands into the cross-shaped sign for his trademark technique, and whispered it under his breath. Multi-shadow clone. Easily 100 Naruto clones were created, and Naruto divided them into 3 groups. Naruto moved up the boulder and gripped the seal, his shadow clones that were at the 4 other seals doing the same, and he had a mental countdown. Point 3, point 2, point 1. Now, Naruto ripped the seal off, satisfied when no trap or danger presented itself. The removal was a success. Naruto silently dropped to the ground. Walking up to the boulder, he placed his hands onto the solid rock, mixing his earth chakra to change the density of the rock. At first there was nothing to be seen in its appearance, but after a few seconds, Naruto could visibly see the rock melting and changing into a thick mud, courtesy of his chakra. Upon revealing the inside of the cave once the boulder was gone, Naruto and his clones moved away from the opening and peered inside, scoping out the base. Naruto observed there was a large statue over towards the end of the cave. The 2 Akatsuki members stood on one of the fingers of the object. Holograms of humanoid figures were located on the rest. Naruto's eyes widened when he saw a blue orb of chakra energy, and to his horror, he found Gaara in the middle of it, his Biju chakra being slowly absorbed. The Akatsuki appeared to be in total concentration, but Naruto was not to be fooled. They surely knew of his presence by now. Naruto made a few hand motions to his clones. The attack would start now. 5 of his clones leapt in front of the doorway, gathering themselves in a stance and held up a hand sign that few got to see before the deaths. They whispered the jutsu at the exact same time, a deep mist seeping into the cave and outside on the river. Ninja art, hidden mist. They held their stances, keeping the mist so thick that an untrained shinobi would barely be able to see past his face, let alone a few feet in front of him. Naruto, however, had practically lived in this mist during his swordsman training. He didn't need to see, his other senses were all he required. 2 more dozen of Naruto's clones leapt in front of the first 5, all holding as many 3-pronged kunai as they could fit in their hands. Naruto took his place with the final group, a good 75 or so clones, all with their broadswords out and at the ready. Naruto quickly formed the seals for a last-minute jutsu, and a few more clones were created, mixing themselves with the rest. Time for my combo. Let's see you counter this, Akatsuki. Hiraishin Blitzkrieg. Naruto yelled out his combo technique, startling the Akatsuki at his blunt move of revealing himself formally. The 24 kunai throwers began to throw the special kunai into the cave, not much minding the direction so much as getting as many as they could into the hideout. Naruto smirked as he and over 80 clones disappeared in yellow flashes. The chaos had begun. 5 minutes ago, Akatsuki hideout interior. Geez Sasori-senpai, why does this always take so long, UHN? Deodara asked the turtle-like man, griping over the stupid jutsu used to absorb the tailed beast chakra. Sasori merely glanced in the younger man's direction, silently annoyed by his whining. Would you just shut up, Deodara? It will get done when it gets done. The two settled for an uncomfortable silence until they both felt the sensation of a chakra source nearby. Not just a passerby, the chakra was directly on the other side of the boulder, and it appeared to be unfazed by the security seal placed outside on the boulder. Sasori-senpai, I know. Let's continue the jutsu, see what this interruption could result in. The two eventually felt a light warmth against their backs and somewhat of a glare inside the cave and turned to see the boulder completely missing and sunlight seeping in, startling the two. The shinobi interloper was nowhere to be seen, but it was evident the person was out there, hiding. Earth chakra manipulation, it's the only way to just make solid rock disappear without a sound, UHN. Deodara commented, he himself being earth-natured. Sasori silently agreed with his analysis. Their lapse in concentration was detected by Pain, and he questioned the two on their status. Sasori, Deodara, I no longer feel your chakra, what is wrong? Sasori, being the elder member, spoke up. We seem to have an unwanted visitor, Leader Sama. Pain appeared to be in quiet deliberation for a few seconds. He turned to Sasori. Eliminate the threat as you see fit, we will continue the extraction process. Sasori nodded and Deodara smirked, excited to get a real fight. Suddenly, a thick mist enveloped the inside of the cave, separating the two Akatsuki from one another, surprising the two at the sheer thickness of the vapor. Whoever is doing this obviously is either very strong or full of himself, no one can properly fight in this. Sasori commented, silently impressed with the interloper already. Damn it. With this crap, I won't even see my beautiful art when it explodes. Un. They heard a loud voice echo through the cavern, the name of the jutsu sending a chill down Deodara's spine. No. My father told me of that technique. But that guy's supposed to be dead. From the thick mist came dozens upon dozens of oddly shaped kunai, making Deodara visibly shake from the horror stories told by older Iwa shinobi survivors of the Third Shinobi War. Sasori actually was not keen on the details of this jutsu and dodged the kunai, curious to the point behind the interesting weapons. Deodara's encounter. It happened in a flash. Deodara observed a flash of yellow before he felt the cold slice of a blade and a pulling warmth by his right arm's elbow. He looked to see nothing. At first he thought the mist was playing a trick on him, but to his horror, he lifted up his arm to see the stub of what was left. His arm had been cut from the elbow down and he screamed from unbridled shock and fear. He looked to see another flash and was just barely able to avoid being decapitated before he calmed himself, quickly substituting himself with a clay clone that blew up in the face of one of Naruto's shadow clones. Deodara felt pain stab him in the lower abdomen and looked to see one of the kunai had embedded itself in his abs, stuck firm inside of his body. He looked frightened at the weapon, as if he was standing on a landmine praying to Kami that it wouldn't blow up. Deodara was unable to finish his sentence when he looked up to see 3 flashes, one in front and one to his left and right, and the rest was black. Sasori's fight. Sasori heard Deodara's agonized scream but could do nothing except to continue to dodge the kunai and figure out a plan. The first time he saw a flash, he did not know what to expect, and his outer puppet shell paid for it, a clean gash from the start to finish of the puppet on its left side, revealing the true puppeteer inside. Damn it, those kunai appear to allow this enemy to teleport or somehow shunshin to its location, and I can't dodge the kunai until it's almost too late. When I can finally see the damn things, the bastard has already teleported to me and sliced up my puppet. His ingenuity is amazing. I find myself actually worrying if I could lose. Sasori didn't even bother stabbing at the flashes, for he knew even his reflexes were too slow to stop the enemy, but when the opportunity finally presented itself for him to hit something, he took it without hesitation. A shadow of a figure stood right outside Sasori's visibility and like a scorpion attacking its prey, he sent his tail whipping into its center mass. The redhead smirked when he felt it collide with something and slowly pulled his tail back to observe the enemy and look him in the face as he died. From the mist came what appeared to be a Kiri hunter nin, perfectly impaled and non-moving on his poisoned stinger. His smirk soon changed to a gaping mouth as the ninja melted, its outer skin turning into a dark red substance that was glowing with heat and energy. Sasori could hear the hiss of melting material and looked in horror to find the end of his tail melting from the intense heat of what appeared to be lava or some superheated rock, steam rising up from the intense heat. The end of his tail fell off, dropping to the ground and melting away along with what was left of the clone. What the hell was that? It must have been some nature chakra, but lava. Who the hell can? Sasori was cut off from his investigation by 5 yellow flashes, and slow-mo. Watched as the hunter nins threw back their swords and brought him around in a vertical slashing arc, slicing right through his puppet and skewering much of his own body in the process. Miraculously, his heart remained intact, but his outer puppet buckled and fell loose from the stress fractures across its frame, revealing the broken red head and his rare, stoic face now in a mangled look of horror at the enemy combatant. Naruto slowly made his way to what was left of the enemy puppeteer, a scowl set on his features. This man had captured someone who could possibly count as his best friend other than his sensei and his fiancée, and a fellow Jinchuriki. He deserved no quarter. And he would receive none. Naruto kept his distance, wary of any final traps from the ninja, bringing in nearby clones and had them surround the man, hopefully confusing him as to who was the original. Naruto observed the nearby broken tail, smirking at the obvious encounter it had with one of his lava clones he mixed in with his shadow clones right before the attack, just in case one of them were taijutsu users. Who are you? The Akatsuki man asked. Naruto was shocked he was still alive, let alone able to talk, but he remained stoic and quiet to the man's question, deciding to holster his broadsword and hold up his right hand. A chakra spike could be felt. Sasori looked on curious to what his enemy was doing, feeling eerily confident in the face of certain death, intent on seeing what the victor of this one-sided battle could do. You are scum, Akatsuki. And you will now die by my hand as will the rest of this evil organization. Great Rasengan. Naruto plunged the large Rasengan into the man's heart, or at least where his heart should be, and he was satisfied to see what was left of the man's puppet body go limp. Naruto gave a silent order and the mist slowly dissipated, revealing the statue again and the rest of his clones gone, their spent kunai having disappeared along with them. Naruto looked around the battlefield, impressed with his show of strength, as this was the first time he had used the Hiraishin in real combat, and it turned out to be the deciding factor that gave him victory. Sasori, Deodara, have you defeated the interloper? Naruto could hear the disembodied voice coming from the statue's fingers, probably the leader, he mused. Naruto looked to the 2 bodies of the man's lackeys, satisfied with his work. This is one biju that will not be taken, you bastards. Naruto felt quite exhausted from the fight but quickly brought up his hands for the most important part of the operation, rescuing Gaara. Shadow clone technique. Naruto created 10 clones, each holding their right hands and forming larger than normal Rasengans in their palms, and Naruto created the largest one yet. An official massive Rasengan, big enough to envelope an entire tree or two. All 11 Naruto launched themselves at different parts of the statue, Naruto himself aiming for the center eyes. Pain's eyes widened as he felt the statue buckle from the sheer power of the jutsu attack, the final factor resting in the arms falling off of its main body. Removing Pain's chakra link caused the object to disappear, automatically cancelling the jutsu. Naruto collapsed onto the ground, quite out of energy after the battle, but proud of his accomplishment. He crawled over to Gaara who had fallen to the ground from midair. The boy appeared to be knocked out from sheer pain. No doubt his biju was pissed that some of its chakra got sucked away and was resting itself to regain what it had lost. Hey Gaara. Wake up. Naruto slapped his face around a couple times, and smiled when the red head started to show signs of consciousness, his eyelids flickering open. Gaara weakly looked around, moving only his neck, everything else hurt too much. His eyes landed on the masked Naruto and they widened into saucer shape. Naruto just remembered his mask and took it off. Hey Gaara. It's me, Naruto. Gaara's memories came back, both of the cheerful Uzumaki and of the events leading up to him being here. He remembered black cloaks with red clouds and he attempted to sit up, only to flinch in pain and be pushed back down by Naruto. Hey, you are in no position to be moving, it'll take some time for both of us to recuperate. Gaara only nodded, and looked at the new Naruto, eyeing his Kiri headband with curiously narrowed eyes. Why is he allied with Kiri? When did this happen? Naruto. Did you kill them? Naruto only smiled and nodded, and Gaara actually smiled too, gripping Naruto's hand in a friendly, reassuring grip. That's good. Damn good. I'll tell you all about it when we both get some rest. Now hang on, I'm going to get us the hell out of here. Naruto lazily gripped the Kazekage and lifted both of them up, straining to stand with the combined weight. Naruto formed the ram hand sign to gather chakra, borrowing some from his Biju, reminding himself to thank Kyuubi later. In a swirling vortex of water, the two were gone, leaving nothing but two mangled corpses and an empty cave. River Country Forest, 1 hour later. And that is how I rescued you. Naruto just finished explaining how he set out from Kiri and defeated the Akatsuki, and the Kazekage was impressed. The two sat in the thick forest of river, beneath a shady tree. They had been resting and talking with one another, enjoying the peace and quiet. Naruto, thank you. You are truly a friend. My best friend. Naruto smiled and gripped Gaara's hand, a meaningful gesture. Jinchuriki have to stick together, right? Gaara smirked at this. Are you sure you weren't trying to brown-nose the Kazekage into an alliance with Kiri? Naruto scoffed at that, it hadn't even crossed his mind. Nope, I came on my own accord, someone had to pull your ass out of the fire. The two laughed at that, and Naruto was glad that the traumatic event had not affected Gaara. They were silent after that, silently reflecting on what had happened. Gaara was the first to speak up, his curiosity getting the better of him. Naruto. Why do you wear the Kiri symbol? Naruto quirked an eyebrow and readjusted his headband, thinking of the best way to explain. Well, it's a long story. Gaara, being the rare joker, attempted to move his weak legs and just shrugged at the blonde, who was already smirking. Well, I can't move so I don't have anywhere else to be. Alright smart ass, it all started around 2.5 years ago. 1 hour later. Wow. Gaara had listened to the whole tale of Naruto finding out about his bloodline and going to Kiri to live and find love with none other than the Mizukage herself. If you were any other man, I would not believe you for a second. Naruto, is this what you really wanted? To leave Konoha? Naruto looked at Gaara with an unreadable expression before settling for a soft smile and a nod. The only thing I regret is not giving my precious people in Konoha a proper goodbye. But I had to leave, and now that I am where I am, I couldn't be happier. Gaara nodded, he would trust Naruto's decision. Well then, you have my support. No doubt Konoha sent reinforcements to help rescue me, that could pose a problem for you. Naruto nodded but did not change his mind. I'm escorting you back to Suna myself, no matter what it takes. I'm not leaving until I'm sure you will be alright. Gaara smirked, flexing his muscles and slowly getting up from the ground. Then what are we waiting for? Naruto Uzumaki of Kirigakure. A funeral. Naruto got a laugh out of that, he got up too. Yeah, let's go Kazekage-sama. The two friends set out at a sedate pace through the trees, intent on getting back to Suna safe and sound. Sunagakure, 2 days later. Okay, we'll head out and get the Kazekage back. Don't wait. Up. Gaara. Temari had shouted over her shoulder to the Suna gathering before turning back around to see her brother, unharmed, walking through the village streets. Temari ran right up to him and hugged the redhead tight, tears streaming down her face. The present Suna shinobi ran up and greeted their Kazekage back, thinking that he had defeated Akatsuki and come back on his own. The Konoha nin stood away from the large gathering, confused as to why the Kazekage was here when he was supposed to be kidnapped. All right. Please calm down everyone. Gaara eased the crowd and kept walking up to the Konoha ninja, intent on seeing his would-be rescuers. Kakashi and Jiraiya gave respectful bows to the teenage leader. Sakura forced Sai onto his knees and bowed herself, an irritated smile on her face. Kakashi, I see this is the squad that was sent to help in my rescue operation. Kakashi and Jiraiya both nodded, affirming the Kazekage's assumption. Kakashi stepped forward, intent on asking the burning question on everyone's mind. Kazekage-sama, not that I doubt your ability but, how were you able to escape from Akatsuki? Gaara looked at him and held back a smirk, silently apologizing to the hidden Naruto, but this had to be done. I had a little help, come out. Naruto Uzumaki. The Konoha and Suna ninja were shocked to hear that Naruto was actually here, and everyone began to look around for the blonde. Sakura's eyes widened and she felt herself hyperventilate, suddenly afraid and nervous to see her old teammate. Naruto-kun is here. Damn it, Gaara. I thought we agreed that I would hide. I am a missing nin to these guys, or did that little piece of information slip your mind? Naruto complained, coming out from her abnormally dark alleyway, giving everyone their first glimpse at the boy in almost 3 years. Gaara smirked. Naruto would never change. Sorry, I guess that did slip my mind. But it doesn't matter, you are under my protection here in Suna. Naruto scoffed playfully and flashed to stand next to Gaara, arm leaning on the redhead's shoulder. Oh, thank you Kazekage-sama, I am forever in your debt. No, this just makes us even. Naruto and Gaara laughed at that, confusing everyone further. Naruto. The Jinchuriki turned to see the Konoha ninja in battle stances, intent on arresting him. Kakashi stood with his Sharingan prepared and a kunai out. Jiraiya had formed a Rasengan and begun the transition into Sage mode. Sakura had slipped on her gloves but she looked conflicted. Sai stood with an ink scroll ready, prepared to arrest the traitor. How can I help you, Kakashi? Jiraiya stalked forward, glaring murder right into Naruto's veiled eyes, who stood unaffected, completely expecting this from his old comrades. Why the hell are you a Kiri ninja, Naruto? What happened to Konoha? What happened to becoming the Hokage? What happened to your friends? Naruto stood unaffected, settling for just taking off his mask and looking at his old comrades with a blank stare. Sakura silently gasped after seeing his face, already marveling his body's wonderful physique. She now saw that he had grown so handsome. Naruto-kun. Amazing. I have already explained my reasons for leaving Konoha to Tsunade in my letter, and becoming a Kiri ninja wasn't my original intention, but it happened and it turned out for the better. Konoha couldn't believe what they were hearing, for the better. It doesn't matter, we are taking you back, Naruto-kun. Lady Tsunade can pardon you. You can come back with us, back home, please. Sakura cried out, tears streaming down her face. Naruto quirked an eyebrow. Naruto-kun. When did that happen? Sorry, but I don't plan on going back to Konoha. I have found my place in Kiri, and I also found the love of my life, and I won't give that up just because a few of you want me back. They were confused. Love of his life, found his place. Jiraiya growled, fed up with the boy's stubborn attitude. He was coming home, conscious or not. Then we will just have to take you. The Konoha ninja stalked forward, and Naruto placed his mask back on and moved his hand to the broadsword on his back, ready to fight. I don't think so, Suna. Assume Konoha is our enemy. Naruto is our ally and he will not be taken while he is inside our village, that is final. The large contingent of Suna nin behind Gaara and Naruto, easily numbering over 100, all smiled and took up a formation surrounding the Konoha squad, surprising them at the quick change in allegiance. This man, this Naruto Uzumaki, while not known by the majority of the ninja population of Suna, had saved their Kazekage and was obviously his friend, and they would not overlook that so easily. You will not take Naruto, I suggest you leave. Temari suggested, standing amongst the gathered Suna ninja. She would be forever in Naruto's debt for saving her little brother, and she wouldn't allow Konoha to take him back if he didn't want to. How can you say that? Naruto-kun belongs back in Konoha. Gaara interrupted the sputtering girl, laying it out for them. I think Naruto can make his own decisions now, he doesn't need your help. The life of a Jinchuriki, people like us, is traumatizing, fatal to some even. If not for Naruto, I would either be dead or insane now, and I am amazed to this day that Naruto did not turn out like I did from the way I have seen Konoha treat him. You expect him to just stay in Konoha and take their anger, their hatred, their animosity just to satisfy your needs. If that is true, then you are selfish, close-minded fools. If Naruto is happy in Kiri then he should stay in Kiri, and I for one, support him. Gaara finished his speech by setting a reassuring hand on Naruto's shoulder, making Naruto look at him, tears streaming down his masked face and falling to the ground. Gaara. Naruto. You really want to stay in Kiri, don't you? Kakashi asked rhetorically, and he received a nod from his old student. The silver-haired man sighed and moved his hand to his headband, slowly placing it back over his Sharingan eye. If that is the case, good luck. I wish you well, Naruto. The man gave Naruto his famous eye smile and a thumbs up. The others might be willing to let you go, but as far as I'm concerned, as soon as you're outside of this country, I'm going to drag your ass back to Konoha so you can beg on your knees for forgiveness to Tsunade. It is the least she and everyone else deserves. Jiraiya ground out, disappointed in Kakashi giving up so easily. He looked to see Sakura barely holding herself together. Naruto frowned. He may have lost the crush he had on the girl, but he didn't like to see her cry. Shunshinin to her, Naruto took off his mask and hugged her tightly against his body. Sakura gasped, looking up from the embrace into Naruto's eyes, feeling as though she was in complete bliss. She wrapped her own arms around Naruto, intent on having this moment last forever. She leaned up to kiss his tantalizing lips but was disappointed when he moved, so she received his cheek instead. Why, Naruto-kun? Don't you love me anymore? Naruto sighed and backed up a bit, still holding the girl but properly looking into her eyes. She had to see that he meant this. I'm sorry, Sakura, but the love I felt for you once has changed into something akin to brotherly love. I have already found the one that I will spend the rest of my life with. I'm engaged, Sakura. If Sakura had felt devastated from his first announcement, she was destroyed when she heard that he was engaged. To who? She yelled out, a bit too loudly, her anger getting the better of her. To Mei Uzumaki, the fifth Mizukage. Everyone's eyes widened at that, an Uzumaki in a cage. But Sakura was cut off when she felt a finger on her lips, keeping her from embarrassing herself. She couldn't argue with him. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun. I just miss you so much. She clung to his chest, feebly grasping at him, trying to feel him one last time. Naruto just hugged her again, trying to think of something to make her feel better. Then he was struck by an idea. I may not come back with you, but I can give you this. Naruto took out one of his three-pronged kunai. He handed it to Sakura, who took it, looking at him with a confused face. Kakashi went wide-eyed when he saw the kunai. Flashbacks of his sensei came to mind. The Yondaim's kunai. Why does Naruto have it? Naruto, what is this? Naruto laughed a bit, and Sakura pouted, not feeling very good about being laughed at. This silly is a kunai made with a very special seal that allows me to teleport to places with just a simple throw of it. If you are ever in trouble, just throw this kunai somewhere nearby, and I'll come to the rescue. Sakura gripped the kunai tightly after the explanation, not planning on losing her one link to Naruto anytime soon. Naruto. You know the Hiraishin. Naruto turned around to look at Jiraiya and Kakashi. They were both shocked that he knew of the technique, let alone how to use it. Yeah, Dad left it for me to learn, so I did. Kakashi's eyes widened and Jiraiya's turned into saucers. Naruto's father is Minato-sensei. How the hell did Naruto find out? Damn it, Kushina. No way. Minato-sensei. And Kushina-san. EWWW. Kakashi went into a mental breakdown over that thought, making Naruto just laugh at him. Naruto walked back over to Gaara and handed him another one of the special kunai, and he received a nod from the sand user. In case Akatsuki comes back, or if you just want to hang out some time, I'll mark Suna's gate as well so I can visit. Gaara smiled at that, glad to hear that Naruto wouldn't forget about them. Here, Naruto. I prepared this on our trip here, give it to the Mizukage. Gaara handed a small scroll with the Kazekage seal on it, making Naruto look at Gaara with surprise. Gaara. You can't mean. He stopped talking when Gaara held up a hand for quiet. He looked at Naruto with a smile. Any village that is a friend of Naruto's is a friend of Suna. And mine. Naruto just smiled, glad to hear Gaara talk of how strong their friendship really was. It made him feel pretty damn good. Naruto turned around to the Konoha ninja, waving goodbye. Jiraiya looked prepared to give chase, but Naruto just stuck his tongue out at him before placing his mask back on and disappeared in a yellow flash, leaving Konoha and Suna without their Kiri companion. So that was Naruto. Too bad he's engaged. Temari said after the silence that had enveloped the crowd, and Sakura glared at her. Get in line, Temari, I saw him first. The two girls got into a glaring match while Kakashi just looked at Jiraiya. He was fuming with frustration and anger. Damn it. He was so close. And now Sunid will find out he works for Kiri. Not a good day. Jiraiya-sama, should we head out? The white-haired man looked at Kakashi and sighed, nodding his head. Kakashi moved to assemble his squad and finished the goodbyes to the Suna people, albeit it was like walking thin ice after they had threatened Naruto. Jiraiya took on last look at the sun that hung in the sky, silently going over the day and just how bad it had been for Konoha. Not a good day at all. Kirigakure, 10 minutes after Naruto left Suna. Mei was currently sitting in her office, finishing up her paperwork when a yellow flash made her look up and see her fiancé, looking at her with what had to be a smirk under his mask. I'm home, Mei Haim. Mei smiled and leapt into Naruto's outstretched arms, overjoyed to have him back. She had been scared of the outcome since it had taken so long for him to come home. Almost a week had passed, she had begun to fear for his safety, but now that she felt herself wrapped in his embrace, she no longer had to worry. Naru-koi, I missed you so much. Mei quickly tore off his mask and laid a kiss on his lips, overjoyed to taste her lover again, and Naruto smirked. You sure did, I haven't felt that much aggressiveness from you since our second time. Mei smirked at the memory. She had wanted it so bad after the first that she had practically molested him in the morning shower, but he got into it real quick. Well, you were gone for most of the week, someone has to make up for lost time. She said with a smile, but moaned when she felt Naruto's hungry lips attack her own. He lifted her onto the Mizukage desk and began to make out with her, glad that she had finished her duties for the day. Mei broke away from his kiss in a light pant. Seeing that neither were escaping from the primal instincts, she began to formulate a plan of action. Home. The bathroom. The broom closet. She spouted off secluded spots in desperation. Naruto just shook his head to all three. Too far, me want pussy now. Naruto tackled her onto the desk, kissing her and taking off his pants at the same time. Naruto. Not there. The day Naruto returned from saving Gaara would be the day the Uzumaki couple christened the Mizukage desk for something other than paperwork. And they did it over 5 times, just to be sure. Konoha. Jiraiya was dreading every step he took towards the Hokage Tower, afraid of Tsunade's reaction to the news. While the mission was technically a success, the news on Naruto he had to give her would not be taken very well. He was immediately let in to see Tsunade and began to relay the mission and its contents to the half-listening Tsunade, delaying Naruto until the last part. As soon as he uttered the words, Naruto, and Kiri, she exploded, her face in an unbridled fit of rage, and her scream echoed Konoha. Some even felt tremors of earthquakes and an echo of the scream Tsunade let out. What? Kirigaku, Mizukage Suite, 6th round. Mei quieted her moans for a moment as she felt a very ominous danger tug at her heart. Naruto was confused as to what she was doing. She had been on top and stopped ramming herself onto his dick. Mei, what's wrong? The redhead looked back down at Naruto and frowned, unsure of what to feel. It's nothing, Naruto, just a bad feeling, that's all. Naruto frowned but then smirked. He would make her feel better. Naruto began to ram up into her, instantly making her forget about her worries and focused more on the resounding pleasure Naruto was giving her. Naruto. She began to meet his thrusts, finding a rhythm in her own movements as they brought each other closer to orgasm. Naruto leaned up and captured her taut nipple in his mouth, nibbling and sucking on the wonderful breasts that ensnared his attention whenever he saw her naked. His pleasure increased when she rode him. They always jiggled and bounced, enticing Naruto to take a bite, which he did many times. So good, feels so. Mei could no longer take the feeling, his hands massaging her ass, his thrusts deep inside of her and his mouth dominating her breasts was just too much, and Mei came with everything she had, Naruto soon following with his own moan of pleasure. After such a good bout of fun time, the Mizukage completely forgot about any danger or bad omens that she might have sensed, but they had not forgotten her. Short add-on, takes place while Naruto was away. The Mizukage walked along the streets, heading to her office to start the day, another day without Naruto. She had woken up from their fun after he left and cursed herself for giving into blissful unconsciousness. She didn't even get to say goodbye to him. As she walked, she absently picked up on the random conversation of villagers and shinobi, having nothing better to do. Did you hear? Little Chio finally found herself a man. They're getting engaged. Soon enough they will be gone on the honeymoon. An aging mother told her sister. Her little daughter was growing up so fast. The other woman just giggled and gossiped some more. Mei looked at the ground, silently brooding. A man. Engagement. Naruto koi gon. Yeah man, I was just reading in this latest release of my favorite manga. The girl was all like, shut up or I'll kill you. The look on his face was priceless. Some civilian teenagers talked about something Mei didn't care about, but did she hear, kill? A man engaged. Naruto koi gon. Killed. The Mizukage practically stalked up the stairs, taking notice of Chojuro speaking with Ao, a hunter nin, by the door to her office. She leaked a killing intent that could scare Madara Uchiha. I'm telling you, Naruto is going to catch up to my kill tally back at HQ, he even beat me in getting engaged first. The swordsman just shrugged to the older man's complaints, now focusing on the Mizukage who had walked up behind Ao, her voice taking a cheerful tone and she wore a friendly smile on her face. The blonde swordsman was confused, she looked like she was practically radiating evil a second ago. Ow! Shut up or I'll kill you. And with that, the busty cage walked off with a smile on her face and continued making her way to her desk, completely oblivious to the two shinobi looking after her with surprised or, in the swordsman's case, terrified expressions. Ao just kept staring at the wooden doors the woman had closed, mouth gaping in confusion. What the hell did I do? That will be it for this video. If you want more, comment down below, like, subscribe. And see you guys later.